Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
All right, let's get back to Iraq. Man, doesn't it look like a nice stack of, I don't even know what denominations those are. I have a feeling they're the bonds themselves, because the article is about bonds. Because I've been staring at them trying to figure out if those are a denomination of some sort. But if they are, they're definitely the lower ones. It looked like maybe the tens. That'd be weird for them to be handling lower denominations since they have, I don't know, zero value at the moment. Are they showing us something? Is this a hint? What do you guys think? That is the 10 dinar, by the way. This is probably an old picture. If not, it looks to me like they're pulling out the lower denominations. You never know. You never know, because they keep talking about the exchange rate. Once again, we're going to get into that now. Hey, folks, just a quick reminder that back in 2008 and 9, a lot of people lost all of their retirement savings in their 401ks and IRAs because they did not own gold and silver. Yeah, that's right. Gold and silver protects you from a market crash. So do yourself a favor, protect your retirement by purchasing gold and silver. You can go to moneymetals.com, reach out to them, and they will help you set yourself up to protect you and your family from having to start all over from scratch. If you're a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and they will send along with your order a free half ounce of silver. So folks, do yourself a favor, head on over to moneymetals.com and protect you and your family from a market crash, as well as inflation. And that time is now. It really is. There's a lot going on out there. There's a lot of predictions that the market will crash this month. I mean, we'll see. There's the UK market's getting ready to crash. The China's market's getting ready to crash. US market's getting ready to crash. I think this is just their way of trying to get us out of the old system and move us into the new one. That's just what I'm guessing. But either way, they're going to take your money if you just leave it laying around there, like bank accounts. I've been making videos showing you guys all kinds of letters and of them telling you what is secure and what isn't. If I didn't know any better, they were just dropping hints about they were getting ready to do what? Your investment accounts aren't secure. Your banking accounts are secure. It's a bail-in. They take everything. At least if you have gold and silver and you physically own it and hold it, you're protected. For those of you looking for my address, there it is right here. And you guys know I got this alternative website. I encourage you guys to go check it out over there. There's some great information on the RONA. So what is going on? Let's get back into Iraq. Again, articles about exchange rates and stuff. It's interesting to see him talk about it so often. The advisor to the prime minister offering and selling government bonds to move idle money. Are they trying to say they've got money laying around? Must be nice. But yeah, here's where I got that picture from. As you can see, these look like the lower denominations. If I didn't know any better, it looked like the tens. I seen a $3 rate and I was like, what the hell did I miss? I thought the rate changed. Whew. Man, my adrenaline's going. That was a Kuwait dinar. So what is going on? The advisor of the prime minister offering and selling government bonds to move idle money. The economic advisor, that's Saleh, is talking to Al-Kademi. With regards to the sale of government bonds, they are presented to the sector, the public, and banks, such as legal persons, which include banks or natural personalities, which include banks and natural personalities as members of society. Wow. So, you have the unnatural personalities or not members of society, but these here are for the natural personalities as member of societies. And everyone has the right to purchase, including natural personalities as members of society. Banks follow their policies, such as diversifying their financial surplus by purchasing bonds and investments specified by the regulatory regulations, such as not increasing them by specific percentages of capital. Saleh said these policies do not fall under the category of money laundering, that whenever there's a surplus with the banks, they have the right to go out and buy investments. And so if they buy these bonds, it's a form of investments. And I think they bought like 99% of them, something like that. He pointed out that the goal of collecting money must be spent on development or improving the capital of banks that support citizens, such as industrial, agriculture, real estate, and housing. so that inactive money becomes effective and contributes to moving the economy. Yes.
I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. Yeah, I like to move it.
So yes, we like to see them moving their economy. A government source said yesterday, Monday, in a press statement that most of the bonds offered by the government are bought by banks through their cash reserves with central banks of Iraq, while citizens are satisfied with only 1% of those bonds. From time to time, the central bank issues bonds in favor of the Ministry of Finance for the purpose of financing some public expenditures, as it recently issued construction bonds in denominations of $500,000 and $1 million. Or I should say dinars, not dollars. The Council of Ministries approves the entry of National Oil as a financing partner with Total, which comes from France, by the way, in its giant project in Basra. The Ministry of Oil sat down with people from Total, and they got together and implemented the deal that they had signed a while ago. Ishmael said in a statement to the news that they received a copy of course, the cabinet approved a set of important decisions that support the efforts of the ministry and the National Oil in implementing their plans to maximize national production of oil and gas and achieve financial revenues that support the general budget and the national economy. He had indicated that the Council of Ministers had decided to approve the National Oil Company to enter into a financing partner with Total International in its giant project in Basra. So again, that's from that place when Macron was here. He was talking about that and brought Total with him, and he had signed agreements. Al-Kadhimi issues a directive to ministers about the end of his government's life. You know, when I first read that, I was like, I thought he was running. He is running, but it's just in case, is what he's saying. So Al-Kadhimi, what he did is he gave a speech to his cabinet members that, look, you should be working full steam ahead, not getting lazy or slacking off until the end of our government life. Not like literally, but, if they don't get reelected, then work until the last day that you're supposed to be working. So bust your tuchus. So that's the memo that went out. That's the speech that he gave. I respect that about him. Finance reveals the repercussions of raising the exchange rate on the Iraqi economy. What are the repercussions? The Ministry of Finance revealed on Tuesday the positive effects on raising the exchange rate on the Iraqi economy. Now, just before you guys get confused, this is when they raised the rate. In other words, when it moved from 1,190 dinars for every $1, we got 1,450. So it raised the dollar's value against the dinars, what they're talking about. The ministry said in a statement that it has continually followed the indicators of devaluation of the currency against the dollar, and over the past 9 months, it was 54 billion in December 2020. This came after implementing reform measures. So I'm not quite sure what they're saying there. Again, it goes into lost in translation. The change in the exchange rate also helped reduce the demand for foreign currency, which was positively reflected in the decrease in imports and the increase in domestic products. I mean, if you want to strengthen your economy, one of the ways you can do it is to, if you lower the value of your currency, then your labor is actually cheaper. That's why a lot of companies either go to China or they go into places like Vietnam. The currencies are so devalued that labor is actually cheap. So they bring in their U.S. dollars, convert it into Vietnam dong, and they get a lot more bang for their buck that way than they use the Vietnam dong to pay the employees. It's just cheaper that way. That's like how they pay off the debt. A lot of times when we run up major debt, we'll devalue our dollar just so we're paying it back with cheaper dollars. Devaluing your currency does a couple of things. One is if you're exporting things, it makes you more competitive. That's why you see a lot of people get busted for currency manipulation. It's kind of hard to compete with the currency that's been manipulated and devalued because it's taking them lesser dollars, produce something, manufacture something, or pay for labor. See, the indicators confirmed, according to the statement, the improvement of commercial activity in the past 9 months of the current year 2021. That's good. That's butt kicking. That's what you want. In light of the spread of the RONA virus, stopping the penetration of the Iraq market and dumping it with cheap goods that curb attempts to upgrade local production. So China's really good at that. They just really saturate our markets with cheap goods, and most of the goods don't last long. I mean, they send you a TV, it's pretty cheap, it looks good, but it breaks down real easy. It's actually cheaper for you just to go buy a new TV than it is to fix the one that you just broke. The ministry indicated that it is working to reinvest the general revenues with the aim of building a targeted production base outside the oil sector and relying on other sectors, which will contribute to the decrease in demand for the dollar as a result of compensating some produced goods, which made the proportion of imports to local consumption decline. He pointed out that it has adopted, since the formation of the current government, the development of plans and mechanism to work on reforming Iraq's financial policies, and culminated in the adoption of the reform papers. We know this, the white papers, which outlined future economic and financial policy steps to advance local production and reduce imports for the country. That's awesome. That's why they're not worried about a devalued currency. It's when they go to start importing things that they're going to have problems. So I think it's interesting that it says the finance reveals the repercussions. It should say the results. I don't know why it says repercussions. There's no negative part of it in here. I think it's very interesting that they use the word repercussion. They should say, hey, let us reveal the details. They actually benefited from it is what it comes down to. So again, more talk about the rate change, whether it's one way or another, the positive, the negative. Still trying to figure out what denominations those are. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's the lower ones, but interesting that they should be pulling them out. Or it could just be the bonds. Who knows? You guys let me know what you think. Anyways, that's it for now, man. Hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later. I'm out.